Had a pretty action-packed episode, huh? So, without further ado, what is up, people? It is me, Monster50, and welcome back to another episode of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. In the last episode, we had a pretty action-packed episode, as I just mentioned, with both the Rapid Deployment Unit as well as the Super Series, and so we're going to continue having a bit of fun, and let's take a look at the events that we got rocking in today's episode. So, we got a ton of racer events. I know that we're going to start off with cop events, but there's a ton of racer events as well. Let's go cops. So we have an interceptor as well as we have an interceptor. So I have no real choice. Let's just do an interceptor then.
Countach is an exclamation of astonishment that a man from Piedmont, northern Italy, might make when seeing an extremely beautiful woman. Allegedly, this was the word that Nuccio Bertoni uttered when he first saw the design, and the name stuck. A single prototype was built and shown at the 1971 Geneva Motor Show. The first Countach, with a few necessary design modifications, including much larger air intakes on the car's rear shoulders, was delivered in 1974. Although not the first wedge-shaped car design, it is undoubtedly the most famous and was the must-have pin-up car of the 80s. A total of 676 Countach LP 5000 QVs were built between 1985 and 1988, with the Countach being replaced by the Diablo in 1990. Improvements to the engine were made throughout the Countach's lifetime. With the LP 5000 QV, the V12 engine received 4 valves per cylinder, hence the QV, Quattro Valvole name, and an increase in engine capacity to 5.2 liters. The 6 double carburetors were moved from the side to the top, which improved engine breathing, but reduced rear visibility to near zero.
So I think it goes without saying that the Countach is probably one of the most iconic Lamborghinis of all time, and also one of the most iconic, just due to the fact that it was used in Risky Business, I believe, and it was used in Wolf of Wall Street to play on the Risky Business like scene that was used. And so it's funny how we're chasing a Countach with the Countach, I believe. The only thing about this car is that it is much more looks than function. This car's AC sucks. I know that when it comes to the alternators on these cars, they're pretty bad. The rear wing does nothing for downforce at all. It actually reduces speed. But the looks, the fact that this was one of the first Lamborghinis that really got traction other than the Mira, as a successor to the Mira, I'd say this is a pretty damn cool successor, especially in the 80s. Ah, man. Oh, it's so sad that I... Mirror.
And that's confirmed. Your roadblock is in position.
We're getting a gold on this. It ain't gonna...
EMP activated, acquiring target lock.
Ah, man, that was actually good by him to do that. That really sucks.
Satellite connection down. All units we are being
I see where you're going.
Target.
We tried to turn around, I think, but...
All units, local EMPs are authorized for use.
Thank you. Mr. Truck. Check my block again. Well, it wasn't necessarily successful, I'd say. Hit him. Nice. So I did make the other EMP work.
Our main contact is sustaining some damage.
Come on. Because with the same car, I can't necessarily move that much faster. You just use turbo. You can tell when they're using turbo, especially when they have the effect of having the lights like that. Nope, that's not. What is he trying to do? Hello? I don't know why I followed him. So that guy just got annihilated. Annihilated? What's not happening? Why can't... Man, I'm really good at not paying attention. Alright, just set up another roadblock. Should be good. Should at least slow him down, even if he hits it and doesn't get knocked out from it. At least he'll get hit by it. And they'll still have to... Yeah, he got hit. Nope. He tried to be slick. I couldn't see where he went because the Cayennes are huge and obviously wedge-shaped. God, he got wrecked. But wedge-shaped cars, so not exactly easy to see above massive Porsche SUVs. Awesome. Distinction, easy. I had no trouble there at all, guys. None at all. None whatsoever. New car, though. Very cool. Take a look. What we get. Of course, we got the Countach. Why wouldn't we? Very nice to have, though. Love this car. Just, I wouldn't want to own or drive one because of how scary these cars are. And how valuable they are, too. They're very valuable, these cars. Alright, got another Interceptor. Let's get right into it. We're just going to go and slam right through these. So we've got the Gallardo. We can do the DBS, Z06. Let's go with the SLS. I'll record this, and I'll catch you guys in the video, in the event. I think I've always loved the SLS, because when it comes to the SLS, I always view it as the closest thing we ever got to like a German muscle car. It's sort of like their version of the muscle car with the AMGs. The AMG GTS as of current generation are more refined. They're definitely meant to be driven more on a track rather than in a straight line, even if they still have that quality about them. I do love me an SLS, and the only thing that kind of disappoints me is that the gull wing doors do not exist on the current generation anymore, but I guess they wanted to make it a bit more subtle, because, yeah, the gull wing doors are a bit flashy, and also they are pretty heavy, especially when it comes to designing them around safety features, because if you don't know, think about it when this car is turned upside down, right? If this car is flipped upside down in some situation, what ends up happening is you get into a position where, how do you get out? So what they had to install is they had to install essentially little explosives that would destroy the bolts in the doors so that any given person could, excuse me, oh, here's nice, should be done. Almost. Sorry about that. But you'll release the door, had the car flipped upside down. It just allows the person to get out in any sort of situation in which the car would be turned upside down, just a safety precaution. And so having to install that for newer cars would probably be a pain in the nuts, and so I can get why they just stopped the gull wing doors altogether, because designing around that is really annoying. Basically, by releasing the bolts, you can just push the door out, right? So, there's no worry, but... That's close. Then another helicopter.
Roger that. Target prosecuted.
Come on, this only just needs one more hit. Oh, come on, man. Oh, that sucks, dude. That he went over the guardrail, because it's like, well, I couldn't hit him to bust him. He's got 30 seconds to do this. There we go. Ooh, that was close. Sorry if I was quiet there for a second. It just got close and I wanted to make sure I got him. So either he commits to dodging the spike strip from the helicopter or commits to dodging the EMP. Either way, he's going to get hit. Because if he tries to stop and spin around, he's going to get hit by me, like just running at him. If he keeps going, he's going to get either hit by the spike strip or the EMP. So win-win either way. Now we are promoted, which is really, really nice. Very cool. Patrolman 3. We're getting up there, folks. Getting up there. I believe we also unlocked a new car. Oh, no. We got an equipment upgrade. Nice. Now we have our new car. The Mercy, my personal favorite Lamborghini of all time. I love this car so much. Always will hold a special place in my heart. I love this car to death. But when it comes to the helicopter, as was said in the video, pretty self-explanatory, so nothing crazy there. Got some previews, a race, a time trial. I think we'll combine, so we got 2 races. Let's do a race up here, because I know we had this race in the last episode, we just never ended up going with it. So let's just do a race, sort of calm down from the big chaos we've had.
The Porsche 959, with its electronically controlled all-wheel drive, was originally conceived as a Group B car, the road-going version created to satisfy homologation regulations that required a minimum of 200 street-legal units to be built. The road car became the world's fastest street-legal production car with a top speed of 197 miles per hour and was hailed as the most technologically advanced road-going sports car ever built. Instead of creating an engine from scratch, Porsche developed an existing engine, ending up with a twin turbocharged 6-cylinder boxer engine with an air-cooled block and water-cooled heads. The use of sequential twin turbochargers allowed for smooth, seamless delivery of power across the engine RPM band, which contrasted to the sudden delivery of power found in other turbocharged engines of this period. Instead of using a tubular space frame, which would have saved weight, Porsche chose to use a steel monocoque, which reduced cost and would be easier to translate to future models. The pursuit of lightness and aerodynamics was, however, a big focus for the body, which was made from Kevlar and was a pioneering feature of the mid-80s. Its big front air dam and huge rear spoiler were created from time spent in the wind tunnel and contributed to an impressive drag coefficient of 0.31.
Alright, we're getting into a little bit of a race with the 959. Nothing too crazy here. Now, when it comes to regular races, as I've been noticing in my videos, you'll see me cut a lot, and so we'll only cut to some significant stuff or maybe conversations that I have. So as we go through this race, it's going to be a bit long, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to cut around to this race if there's anything big that happens. If not, you guys will see me in a little bit. So, and the major reason that I'm ending up doing this is just due to the fact that when it comes to these races, there's not that much to talk about. It's just us driving. Like, there isn't anything super interesting going on. The fun stuff when it comes to the interceptors, the hot pursuits, the duels, those are fun. But these are just kind of there and they exist. So, same thing with the time trials. This is very similar to the time trials. There's nothing too crazy. The only reason I keep those in is because we have to hit a certain time to get the distinction. And so there's a little bit of tension there, right, for someone watching when it comes to like, oh yeah, you know, they have to make it there on time, so commentating and trying to drive really well at the same time is also pretty entertaining for you guys, especially if I screw up. So I hope you guys are okay with that. That's just my personal view. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you guys end up making it to this part of the video. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below about something like that. So I just think it ends up making the video flow better at the end of the day. Oh, I guess one thing I did forget to mention in the Countach cop event is that for those of you who don't know, as I'm recording this on August 9th, so usually my video process, at least for some of it, what I like to do is to have if I have a week of videos that I'm going to release the following week, to have those videos all ready to go the week before, so that when the videos are releasing during the week, I can just end up making the videos for the following week. And so one thing that I'm noticing, that I saw the other day, I believe yesterday, is that the Countach that was used in the Wolf of Wall Street is actually being auctioned off, which is really cool. I don't know the state of that car. I don't know if they just simply used it as a prop car and they didn't do all that much else with it. I hope they did. Didn't ruin it or anything, because that's going to be a steal. To have the Countach that was used in the Wolf of Wall Street for that scene, that's pretty freaking cool. I just saw that, I believe, Car and Drive or one of the bigger motoring sites posted it, or maybe it was a movie site. I don't remember. But I'll see if I can find the post and I'll just show a screenshot of it on the screen right now. But yeah, pretty interesting, pretty cool, and it'd be a real awesome thing to say, oh, I own, this is the Countach that was used in the Wolf of Wall Street. So, yeah. Alright folks, we got a mile to the finish. Again, like I told you guys, nothing crazy, just pretty boring stuff, just here out racing. Man, the only thing I don't like about these races is that for commentating it just gets there's nothing to say, and then they're just long. So like I'm trying to record this video, and it's just long. We do get a new car, which is really exciting. Let's take a look at what we got. Got the 959 on the racer side of things, which is cool. Yeah, I was gonna say I believe we got another one because I believe you just unlocked it anyway. MP412C, very iconic car. This was really McLaren's first way into making their brand a little more consumer friendly rather than just charging $800,000 for their cars. This is the first of their vehicles that was ever like made to be like, so I think it was like 150 some thousand on launch or something like that, around that price maybe. So I got a preview. I believe this is a race, a time trial, and I believe this is a hot pursuit. Let's end with the preview. I think really should be good here. The Revington.
The chances of owning the new Revington Roadster? 1 in 700 million. Costing a cool $250,000 more than the Revington, this car is also limited to only 20 examples. With 40 years of building open-top cars, Roadsters are a way for Lamborghini to add that extra emotional component to their technological expertise. Where the engine in the Revington was a tuned version of the LP640's engine, the Revington Roadster features an engine almost identical to the one used in the hardcore LP670 4 Super Veloce. Unlike the Revington, the exclusive paint used has a matte gray finish that is brought to life in sunlight due to the inclusion of metal particles. The wheels are formed of 5 Y-form spokes, which include a carbon crescent-shaped fin that helps cool the brakes even further.
Yeah, as she said there, the Revington is only offered in that color, and these things are worth a gazillion dollars nowadays. I'll probably throw on screen how much I can, if I can find a couple for sale, if any, show you guys how much these cars are worth nowadays. But yeah, the Revington definitely was a limited car, but this is, I think, again, a perfect example of the way that Lamborghini tests new technology and new designs in a car to then use it in a following more mass release model. Because clearly, as I mentioned in the Cop Revington video, this car is just the gateway to the Aventador. That's what this was. This was a gateway to the Aventador. They definitely used this as a test the water styling element, and then they were like, oh, let's sort of refine it for the Aventador, and that's what they did. And even though I do love the Aventador, and it's still one of my favorite cars, at the end of the day, the first generation of Aventador, I believe, as Ed Bullion stated in VinWiki, that basically those cars had a lot of issues with, like, the solenoid pack that would, I think, implode or something along those lines, and then it would jam the car in, like, 4th or 5th gear, and then you couldn't get it going anymore, and so I believe they had to replace the entire trans to get that actually fixed, which obviously on the $400,000 car is going to be even more money. And so even though the first gen Aventadors were like that, that's why they made like the Centenario as well. That eventually that solenoid pack like issue ended up getting resolved eventually. But definitely you can see with the Centenario that when they wanted to test rear wheel steering, they wanted to test a bigger engine with slightly more power, they imported a lot of that technology, and they ended up using it for the Aventador S, because the Aventador S had rear wheel steering, not the original Aventador first gen did not have rear wheel steering. So ended up making the pretty big and heavy car a little bit more maneuverable, especially having almost 700 horsepower at that point. So, you know, and that's one thing too with the Revuelto. I was expecting the Revuelto to be around 900 horsepower, but they ended up showing that the car is like 1,000. And the reason I was expecting around 900 is because we went from 670 to 690, I believe, with the Mercy SV. So to go from like 800 with the SVJ almost to 1,000 was like, oh, Jesus. But we did level up. Really nice stuff. We're a level 2 felon. Man, that can be taken out of the context, and but we got the GT3 RS, which is really, really cool. Yay! And so with that, guys, I think that is a great place to end off the episode. So, In the next episode of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, we'll be continuing both of these careers, and then we're going to hopefully try to get even closer to unlocking the next tier for both the cop and the racer careers. So with that, I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials. I'll link those in the description below. And with that, guys, I'll leave you all to the car bios, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.
Built like an athlete, the Gran Turismo S Automatic maintains the purity of the original's lines while providing power, driving pleasure, and still has space for 4 adults. When revving above 3,000 RPM on the move, the exhaust valves open to allow the exhaust gases to escape more quickly, creating a lower back pressure and a peak power of 440 bhp. The effect of the self-adapting gearbox is a smooth ride at low revs and consistent power delivery at high revs. New side spoilers add to the dynamic look, and new 20-inch wheel rims that mirror the design of the famous Trident logo render Pininfarina's work of art even more intriguing. The grille has concave vertical slats that give the appearance of inhaling air even when stationary. Sporting tradition, Italian passion, and engineering prowess. The values that have made Alfa Romeo a legend find perfect expression in the Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione. The legend takes to the road in a limited edition of only 500. Powered by a 4.7-liter V8, situated just behind the front wheels, and capable of developing 450 bhp at 7,000 RPM, the engine is not only responsive, but helps create a perfect 50-50 weight distribution that ensures stability as well. Developed by the Alfa Romeo Style Center and with thousands of hours in the wind tunnel, its original line has been styled around its wheels with a powerful, muscular side. The most exciting combination of luxury sedan and performance sports car that Maserati has ever produced. During the 6 years of its life, the Quattroporte has received no less than 56 awards. Using the same 4.7-liter V8 found in both the Gran Cabrio and the Gran Turismo, it can generate 85% of its power from as low as 2,500 RPM. The MC AutoShift software allows controlled starts that can accelerate its 1,990 kilograms to 60 miles per hour in a little over 5 seconds. Although this car features an extra set of doors, the most noticeable styling difference over the other Maseratis is at the front. A wider grille is used, the fog lamps and air intakes have been integrated, and the front light cluster has been redesigned with a titanium finish. What sets pulses racing the most? The performance or the looks? The new Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG features a distinctively pure design, superior dynamics, and levels of safety and everyday practicality that are the hallmarks of Mercedes-Benz. The conversion to dry sump lubrication allows a significantly lower engine mounting position, with the resulting lower center of gravity enabling high lateral acceleration and scintillating vehicle dynamics. Power is distributed from the AMG 6.3-liter V8 to the rear axle via a particularly light carbon drive shaft, similar to those used in DTM C-Class touring race cars. With its unique gull-wing doors, the SLS AMG is a classic of tomorrow, which takes cues from the legends of Mercedes-Benz. A long wheelbase and bonnet combined with a wide track and large wheels creates proportions that are unmistakably supersports.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives.